Hello, welcome back. Last night we went to see
Tyler, the Creator.
who happens to be my favourite artist
Ever.
of all time. We went to see him in the 3Arena,
Yeah.
Dublin.
Not my favourite venue, but
No, it was very good.
it was very
Amazing
good.
show.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
So flipping good.
Yeah. Now, to backtrack, we got these tickets last year,
Yeah, I think like October was it announced the tour?
possibly.
Yeah.
It was announced and Louis didn't want to go.
No. Well, oh wait, it was after. When did we go Santorini?
October.
October. So the album dropped in October.
Yes.
Dropped while we were
Away
on
on
holidays.
holidays.
And I must say, I
Louis
was
didn't like it.
very excited for it, but I thought it's see, I think it's just such a good run of 3 albums with Flower Boy, IGOR, Call Me If You Get Lost. I just expectations were so high, and then he released a few not spoilers, a few sneak
Snippets.
yeah.
And it looked
Teasers.
class.
They sounded class. Is the best bit. And I was so excited, and I just hated being excited because I will get disappointed.
Yeah. And like, to put it in perspective, Louis loves this man more
Yeah.
than he loves me, I think.
I'm not gay, but be worried.
Yeah, if Louis got half the chance,
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Patreon exclusive. You can film it for once.
Yeah.
You'll be behind the camera. The tour was announced and he was playing in the 3Arena in Dublin.
And I saw it and I sent it to Louis and he's like, I'm not going. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was like, he's gonna tour the album and I don't like the album.
But then I wore him down and we got tickets.
Yeah.
Because we were like, well, if you don't go,
yeah.
Louis seen him before. I've never seen him and I really wanted to go see him.
That was an experience the last time I went.
So Louis seen him in Vegas in 2021. That's the only time you've seen him.
In February, yeah.
And Louis wasn't up to. He was in Vegas, which makes it sound unreal, but he wasn't up to.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it sounds a lot better than it was.
Yeah, Louis wasn't in a very fit state to go.
Yeah, flew, landed, drank from like 9 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock the next afternoon. Went to bed, got like a few hours kip, and then went to Tyler and tried to fall asleep before he came on, and then
Was late and the
whole
whole
time.
I don't know. I didn't know Louis at this point, so I only found the story out after. But I would have. I was like, I want to go see him because I really like him too.
Yeah.
So then, kind of wore Louis down. It was kind of like, oh.
Well, I kind of had the realization that I was like,
when are you gonna see him again?
Yeah, he's in town.
Yeah.
Might as well. Go. He is my favorite artist.
So it came upon us really suddenly. Like we were like, oh, Tyler Creator's like it's months away, and then all of a sudden we were like, oh my god, it's this week. So.
Yeah, and I haven't really listened to the album.
No, bear in mind I hadn't listened. I think I listened to it with you once, and that was it.
I've listened to it a few times since. There's a few. I don't know.
Anyway, so
few bops.
I listened to the album on the way home on Saturday, like early morning, and I was like, this album slaps. And I came in and I was like, Louis, the Chromakopia album's actually quite good. And Louis was like, yeah, no, I've been listening to it and it's actually alright.
I think I just had such high expectations for it when
they're
coming out.
When there's such hype and buzz around something.
But it was like IGOR. I don't think there was any warning. Because I just remember I was in work and
he was out.
Yeah, he put up a post on his Instagram and it was just like, this album should be consumed when you're not doing anything else. And there was a big long, like a way that he wanted people to listen to it, that you had to explore it as a full piece. It wasn't an album of just like individual songs. It's a story from start to end. And I remember listening to it, I was absolutely blown away. And then Call Me If You Get Lost, there was like 2 weeks of promotion for it. And then just one Friday, he uploaded everything. Like the whole album was on YouTube. And I just remember, I'd say I listened to Call Me If You Get Lost every day for about 6 months. 3 to 6 months. I used to listen to it running, just constantly. Oh. And yeah, just them 2 albums back to back. And Flower Boy was amazing before, but IGOR was the one that really sold me. I thought he was just an amazing musician, just to do something completely different.
Yeah.
So then Chromakopia, it seemed like there was more promotion, there was more of a lead up to it. And I was really excited, and it looked so cool. The videos that were coming out were class. It sounded amazing. The first song.
Yeah.
So I was really excited. And then I don't know, I just found it really self-indulgent, even though I know the rest of them are, but a bit braggadocious. I don't know. I just didn't connect with me.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like I had the depth that the rest of the album has.
I wasn't sure what sort of crowd was going to be there.
Yeah.
Because obviously I know you like him. I don't really know too many people that like him. Myself.
But it was just so young, the crowd.
Like, literally. Like, I mean, actual children were there. Like, there was a young lad that was definitely 7.
I really didn't know what crowd to expect. Like, I thought it could have been
any
scaldy rap crowd.
Yeah.
But then, when we were going up, you thought it'd be more the alternative crowd, which I thought that's Tyler. That was his demographic.
What do you think I mean when I said alternative, though?
Freaks and geeks, outcasts.
Yeah, a bit of that.
Because that's what he identified as himself. He was like, he was never allowed in. He was kicked out of our class. He said he wasn't allowed in speech and drama. He said in music, they said he didn't have what it takes to be a musician. He said when he was playing basketball, they're like, no, you're not athletic. So he was always the one on the outside.
Yeah.
So that's why he made his music.
Yeah.
So then I felt like a lot of people identified with him. I know I did.
Yeah.
That's why I got into him. I just thought it was so creative and alternative, and I guess I don't know. Even I could identify with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he made being uncool cool.
Yeah.
So I could see how that crowd would be attracted to it.
Yeah.
But I really don't know how the youth, like, such a young crowd.
Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd say like the majority of people were under 20.
I listened to Tyler longer than some of them were alive. Most of them were alive. Yeah. Like, I got into it when I was like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
This is mad.
It's crazy. There were so many really young kids. Like, really young. So I definitely think that, like, that social media, TikTok, that has to answer for.
So anyway. Production.
So Tyler came out to sing Chromakopia, and from the way the stages were set up, we kind of realised that. Well, had you seen reviews of what happened?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay.
I had an idea.
That the Chromakopia was going to happen like on this side.
Well, I kind of felt that because he had the shipping containers with Chromakopia written across it.
Yeah, this side, and then there was another stage here, so maybe something else was going to happen here. That's what happened at the beginning. So he came out in the Chromakopia garb.
Yeah,
mask.
No appreciation for that album. It sounded really good.
I think sometimes... Now, I don't think the sound in the 3Arena is amazing.
No.
Sometimes he was talking and I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah, I thought it sounded pretty... Well, I was just bad ears.
Yeah. No, there was parts of it where I was like, oh, I'd love that to be a bit crisper.
Yeah.
Do you know, just a little bit more. But yeah, some things are better played live.
But he just brings so much energy. That performance was just massive.
Any shows I've been to that have been rap gigs or shows or festivals or whatever, 10 out of 10 always the best.
Yeah.
Ones I've been to. Biggest mosh pits, bigger than any metal or rock concert I've ever been to.
Yeah, that's true.
The mosh pits are always crazy. And they always have such a great energy. Everyone's like up for a good time.
Yeah, and as well, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was...
It's the whitest audience ever.
No,
white. Called it out as well.
White teenagers is your...
The whitest of white teenagers.
But,
sorry, back to...
that it was just him. Like, there's no backing singers, no musicians, no live... No dancers even.
Nothing.
And he gave it socks.
And he could have, because
the whole thing.
He had the videos up with like a few of the songs, and like, you know, there was a marching band in one of the songs, and then like Chromakopia, there was like multiples of either him or other people, and like he didn't have anyone, and you could not you couldn't take your eyes away from him.
No. And he never lulled or lagged or stopped. There was fireworks, They literally,
in the first song he had sparkler thingies.
Sparks. Rain and Sparks.
Yeah, like Rihanna Umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you actually looked at it on the screen, it was like, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but even I thought the lighting show was amazing.
The lighting, yeah, he had fire in the second song. There was like red lights, and then the lights would change depending on the song. And like, so he was on stage on like a container, but then they had like screens. So they had screens like above, and then they had screens behind. But then like the screens would sometimes split into two and show like a video and him on stage. But then there was like obviously pre-recorded stuff as well. But then sometimes it's go to the crowd, and it was like overhead of like the mosh pits and stuff. It was just class.
Yeah.
And that was just the Chromakopia bits to start.
Yeah, so the first half of the gig was Chromakopia.
Yeah, and he was on the stage, and then all of a sudden it went black, and a thing from the middle came down, so it was like a bridge from the main stage. Shipping container.
But it was like, because the video for Chromakopia explodes.
Yeah.
So it was like a...
halved.
Yeah. The middle of it was blown out.
Yeah, so then he went across.
Flapped it.
Yeah, so he went across. So then
he did some performing on that.
Yeah, so he was like in the middle of the crowd then for like another half of the album.
Yeah, he started traditionally
on the stage
at the back. So then this lowers down the middle. So he leaves the stage at the front and he goes into the middle of the crowd essentially above them.
So you be the old stage, put your hand here. Old stage. You put their hand there for that.
So then this is the tier. People sitting.
Yeah.
So there's a crowd here and he goes up here.
He stands in here for a bit.
It starts giving it socks up here.
And that was unreal. Like, because we were so far back because we're old now. But with the two stages, I think we knew we'd get a better view if we kind of stayed back and in the middle ish. Because if you were at the front of that stage, you probably had a shit view then of that second half of the gig.
We're just not that. I don't need to be in the mosh pit anymore.
If I was mentally prepared, I would have gone in. But I had a denim skirt and nice shoes on, so I wasn't getting them trampled.
Yeah.
Because you're more than likely to lose a shoe in the pit, and your suede shoes are not meant for the pit.
So then, was it a bit more Chromakopia?
It was Chromakopia, so that was so funny because we were there and they were bopping away, and then we look and my friend Sarah was like, "Oh, the guy's in the middle of the."
Yeah, she couldn't see him.
She didn't realize he had gone halfway through.
Yeah, that was
so funny. But really good. Like again, it was just nice to have a different area to look at, and nice for the people. And I find that as well sometimes when you're at a gig and like that you happen to get seating, like you're looking so far and sometimes you're looking at the screen most of the time because you're like, oh, I can't see anything. You're glad you're there, but it was a lot nicer for the people that were sitting, like, to be able to, because the seats at the back of the 3Arena are so far back.
Yeah,
like really, you touch the wall, like they're so far back, so it's nice for people to get a better view. But then
he's on his plinth. Then did the last location, did that fall down?
No, wasn't there like curtains to make it look like a house?
But was that up above or was it down?
I think it was down below and it raised up and then went back down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a bedroom essentially, wasn't it?
Sitting room, I would have said.
Okay.
It was a couch and a table.
Yeah.
And
but then that's very true. He
was still on the stage. He took off his mask from Chromakopia.
Yeah.
So because he had a mask on for the first half, then took the mask off. And then he walked across, sat down on the couch, started taking his shoes off. So it was like a curtains on each side of the second stage that came up, and then they rolled up. So it was like you knew it was a house or something.
Yeah.
And he went, and the lights went off, didn't they?
No, he started flicking through the record collection.
Yeah.
And then
there was a box of records.
Yeah, he had a box of records, and then the camera on the big screen, you could see into the box, and you could see the records he was flicking through.
These lovely hands.
Oh. Have you ever seen
lovely hands?
Because you know the way he's got like intense fans.
Yeah.
And he can't do anything. Like seriously said, he's a proper celebrity. He's like, if you come to shake my hand, you better have been manicured. He said, "What is it with your nasty nails?"
Yeah, I actually was looking at his website earlier. I was looking at clothes on the Golf Club Store website. And there's a jacket, and it's like faux rabbit skin, a faux rabbit fur around the collar. And I was like, do not wear this if you're not moisturized.
But he
love that.
He has he's a proper skincare routine.
But I also really appreciate a man that looks after himself like that.
So yeah, his record collection.
His hands are fabulous. His rings were lovely as well. He had like 2 rings on, and they were gorgeous.
He designs his own jewellery.
Yeah, I'd love that. His little ring had like different coloured gems. It was gorgeous.
Oh, good jam. So he's flicking through it, and you saw Bastard was in there.
Yeah.
But I knew he wouldn't play that.
Why?
That's his first album.
Okay.
That's the one that got Sweatshirt Earl sent to Samoa.
What?
When they were like 16, they made Bastard. That's the first album.
Okay.
And they released it for free on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
And Earl's ma heard it. And she sent him to boarding school in Samoa to reform.
Oh, wow.
Pretty dark.
Okay.
Lots of explicit content.
Fair.
It's called Bastard.
Yeah.
For the start of it. Yeah, so I knew he wasn't going to play Bastard.
Yeah.
But I didn't like some of that. And then he landed on IGOR, and he put IGOR on, and it was Igor's tune, the first track.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
I think the whole concept was class. It was like he was at home, just chilling.
No, but he was taking his shoes off, and I thought he was going to get changed into the Igor outfit. I was excited for that.
A lot of people dressed up in the Igor outfits.
Yeah, they were class.
But yeah, so basically it gave the vibe that he was at home, chilling, like that classic, what I would think like 70s-esque.
Yeah.
He's got a very 70s inspired vibe, like with the golf floor clothes and everything like that, and just the aesthetic and stuff. So that kind of vibe was set up in, and I really like the idea of flicking through the old record player. Like it wasn't just his own records in there. Obviously, there was Black Eyed Peas, Erykah Badu, and like different records. So he's flicking through them and then like putting the thing on. And like that gave him time to chill, time to like reset. So as you said, put Igor on, and then he walked off, and it just like played.
Yeah, Igor's tune.
Yeah, Louis thought he was gonna be dressed in the Igor get up, but he just kind of came out in a classic Tyler look.
Yeah,
which I really liked.
Like this.
More finessed.
This
is a very laid back. Louis said quite like this, where he was wearing slacks. And
everything he owned was probably like $500 an item.
His trousers are like $600.
Are they his own or?
I don't know, but his own trousers are like $600 a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's also caring for the elite people.
But if you see the suitcases, they're like $2,500.
Yeah, they're real leather though.
But
they're obviously like properly made too.
But that's the thing. I feel like
ethically made, I should say, not properly, ethically made.
No, but I just mean everything does is quality.
Yeah.
Like his music, I think is amazing. Then the music videos, he's in charge of them. Then the whole golf on the floor, like everything, it looks like it'll last. And it's considered. It's not just to cash in.
Yeah.
I think he's a real conscious artist. He wants to make the best of everything. Like, and Lighter Squad, that was amazing. That show. Like everything he does, he gives it his all. He's not just trying to make money off his fans. Like even the production value for that last night, I'd say a lot of money was spent on that.
Yeah.
Like it was definitely worth the price.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, back to that. So he played Igor.
Yeah, played a few tracks off that.
When he finished that, he went back to the box and flicked through. So everyone's like screaming at all the
he's teasing.
Yeah, really good. And he was having fun with it too.
Then he played Goblin. He played Yonkers, which he absolutely hates.
Yeah.
Because, he teased, he teased Cherry Bomb. He didn't play Cherry Bomb. He didn't play anything off Cherry Bomb. He played Wolf.
Yeah.
He played Call Me If You Get Lost, but I think that was later.
Yeah, Flower
Boy.
Yeah.
Played Flower Boy. But I think he went like Flower Boy, Wolf, and then Call Me If You Get Lost. Like
yes, it was.
They were sequentially, yeah.
And he played that all on that stage. So, like, if you were in the seats, if you reached out his hand, you probably could have touched him. Yeah,
that would have been, like, if you were sat in the seats. Because
you really got, like, the surprise of your life if you were in, like, certain seats, not the, obviously, kind of middle seats.
Well, like, it would have been us to the camera away from...
Yeah, at the front.
Yeah.
I'd say people that were sitting there were like, oh, you know, I'm sitting, and, like...
I would have screamed the whole way through.
Would have been the best place in the house.
I would have cried.
Yeah. Honestly, that was probably the place everyone should have got seats.
And then he went back on stage.
Yeah, he went back onto that middle part. He played a lot of Wolf there, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then went back onto the stage and finished Chromakopia?
He did Chromakopia, Find Your Way Home, He did See You Again
Mm-hmm.
and Magic Wand.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was so good. He can sing, he can rap, he can dance. Like his dancing, it was just so vibey.
What was the one off Goblin? You touch yourself after hours.
Yeah.
Oh man. When he did like a really slowed down.
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
sang
cool.
it.
Yeah, he's a good singer.
But he hates his voice.
Yeah.
He says he can't make it do the things he wants it to.
Yeah.
He's got, well, because he always sounded like he had he's got real gruff,
Yeah.
low voice. But when he sang that,
it was really nice. Yeah.
it was really soft.
I wonder is he getting singing this?
Yeah, he's that much of a perfectionist, or like I'd be very surprised if he wasn't, because he's tried to perfect everything else.
Yeah. But yeah, it was amazing.
And and then fireworks.
Yeah.
Sparkles.
Rain shower.
Yeah.
Of
sparkles. There was a bit of audience interaction, but not a lot.
Yeah. Who called some of the audience a wanker?
Yeah.
Or they called him a wanker first.
Yeah, and he thought it was because he was singing IFHY.
Yeah.
And then that was the one that petered out. Like, y'all are quitters.
Yeah, and then someone was like, you're a wanker.
But I remember that when it showed the close up of him when he was laid on the couch, and the sweat
honking off him.
Bulling out.
Yeah.
He gave some performance.
Yeah.
But that was an hour and a half of him giving it his all.
Socks. And like that, there wasn't much crowd interaction. Like he did have little bits, like people when he was flicking through the record player, he's kind of giggling when he heard people like shouting, or when he picked up people like, "Rah!" And he was kind of having a skit about it. But like he just gave performance. Like he didn't really stop until he died. You know, sometimes people go behind and tell a big long story about like, oh, this inspired me. This inspired me, you know, and I just want.
It's like a therapy session.
He just didn't give any of that. He just performed. It was class. But then at the same time, it wasn't like I hate when they don't give anything to the audience, but he was giving everything. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, you know.
It's not like he didn't recognize the audience there.
Yeah.
Like that. When he kind of teased Cherry Bomb.
Yeah,
and then everyone cheered.
Yeah, and then he went, they booed.
Yeah, so he just turned around and flipped everyone off.
And then he was laughing away to himself, and it was good. Like, I loved that. Like, that was great.
I wonder if you can do the same energy again tonight.
Oh, absolutely, I'd say so. And I'd say it's going to be a different set list tonight.
Have you seen what he did when he did Massa? I think it was like the MTV Awards or something. And he told the cameraman, he's like, this is what I want to do. And the whole thing, it just starts on him close. It's captivating. He's like, just stay on me. Start zoomed in.
Yeah.
And for the length of the song, he just zooms out.
Yeah.
And he said, that's all we're doing. And
maybe I did see that.
Oh, it's amazing. But the cameraman is like, no, we need coverage. We need different. He's like, no. He said, this is the way we're doing it.
This is my vision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but the audience will like, this is my audience.
Yeah.
They don't care. We'll have this piece of art.
Yeah.
He's just so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Instead of, maybe, I don't know if it's the control or he just knows his vision. I think Tarantino's the same.
But then it's your art. It's not for anyone else. Like true art, you don't care what people think about it. Really. It's for yourself. It's not for anyone else.
Yeah.
That's true art.
Yeah.
Not making it for anyone else.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's probably why he's like, fuck my fans. Like, do you know what I mean as well? He's like, this is for me. I'm doing this for me.
Yeah.
He's not doing it to sell records. He's not doing it for any other reason. It's obviously a bonus if all those things happen, but he's making it for him.
Yeah, I don't think he ever. Yeah, but and like I said, that he always said he was like the outcast of society. Yeah. I feel like he's
kept that persona on.
But he's made uncool really cool. Not obviously he's not the only one, but he's unapologetically himself.
Yeah, and
he's never tried to change or adapt.
Yeah.
He's just been more him every time.
Yeah.
I suppose if you start the way you started, you don't have any reason to try and change. What would you give it?
I think I'm going to give it like an 8.5 out of 10? 9?
I think 8.5.
I think 8.5. Yeah.
I'd highly recommend anyone to see him if you can. Great performance.
Great performance.
I'd be curious to think of what all the dads thought of it.
Yeah, I'll go on TikTok now and have a look. I think I'm taking points off for The venue.
Why? The sound?
Yeah.
Just the sound?
Yeah.
Okay. Recommend people go see it?
Yeah, I'd recommend you go see him. He's
Go see Tyler anywhere.
Anywhere, anytime.
Any
price.
capacity. Any price. Yeah. And he played an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But it flew by. Just because there was so much.
I think though as well, you got a lot for your money if you were there from the beginning. You got 2 support acts.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Paris, Texas. I don't know anything about them. But Little Yachty would be quite well known. And so like you got 2, and I think Paris, Texas are quite famous. I don't really know. I'm not down with the kids. So you got 2 really good support acts. And Tyler. You got an hour and a half of Tyler. You got unreal stage set up. It was well worth the money.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So go see Tyler. And if you've made it this far into the video,
thanks.
Please hit that subscribe button for more quality content like this.
Like this video.
And as always, thanks for coming.